Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 3rd of August 2020 and welcome to video number 220. Today I want to talk about something that some of you might fall for and then reap the negative consequence of that. So I'm going to talk about why a long-term relationship or long distance rather relationships don't work and why it is important for us to never become part of this kind of relationship. First of all, you need to understand that from a very simple perspective of a guy, especially because I've experienced what I'm talking about, we need some kind of interaction. And, I am a guy from the generation that basically seen time without internet. So this kind of understanding that we need this kind of input was much bigger or much more easy to see, because I started my relationship when we were sending letters, and it could take a month to get a letter back. So it was so easy for me to see that if we don't have some kind of input, some kind of interaction with each other, it's very hard to keep focus on being part of this kind of relationship. And obviously today you can say, oh, this is not really a problem, because today it's we've got internet, you can we've got Skype or whatever, you can call every moment, any moment you want, and spend as much time as you want, because you don't even pay for this. But this way or the other, there's a huge difference in between having some kind of interaction face to face than just having time with your girlfriend, with your wife, even worse. Like, I don't know, with your grandma. It's like, hey grandma, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. Okay, so see you next week. You know that you cannot build a deep relationship if you have this kind of interaction only. So that's the first thing. We need some kind of face to face interaction with each other, and it's hard to be and build a relationship if you're not. Point number two, which is obvious and should be obvious to everyone, especially for us guys, and because I'm talking to you, being a guy, that's supposed to be obvious, that we need, and this is what we need and this is what we want: physical touch and intimacy, physical intimacy. And listen, it's not really it's not easy, or even, I would say even more, it's just not gonna happen when she's far away. So you're gonna reap the consequences of it. That's simple. And maybe you'll say, I've got internet, I'll deal with that. But you see, this is something that many of us don't understand as guys. And because we are bashed by the society, because men are pigs, it's much bigger, much deeper story than that. And in many cases I disagree with that, but that's a story for a different video. But you've got to understand that if you don't have, and if you want for a long time, if she's far away and she's gonna be there for, I don't know, half a year or a year or more, you're gonna lose something that is gonna bug you, and you will have to do something about it. We as guys, we need physical touch. We need, being intimately close. Because if you don't have that, even if the girl is with you, even if she's there, if you don't have, if you don't, as they said, consummate what you have, you're just gonna quit. Because it's gonna bug you. Because not many people understand, not many people talk about it, that this is exactly how we build this relationship with each other, and this is how we express our emotions. Because you can think about it this way: how, when you're stressed, when something's going wrong, when you're under pressure because something's going on, what would you want to happen to cool down your emotions if everything is okay in between you and your girl? And I heard that from so many people, myself included. If I'm stressed, one thing that really keeps me down is her being close, which most of the time ends up being intimate. So now imagine, how can you even say, it's gonna be fine when she's going for 6 months or a year? I'm talking like long term, not being together. You're gonna get crazy, and you may think, everything's gonna be fine. But trust me, because I've been there. In a week from now, you will flip out. You'll say, that was a bad idea. And point number 3, you've got to understand there's so much more to relationship than just interactions, conversations, and sexuality. Although both of those are very important, but the relationship, when you see and understand that you want to build it in a much deeper level, there's so much more. There's the whole theme of cooperation, the whole theme of doing something together, experiencing something together, being able to draw conclusions from whatever you experience, dealing with stuff, overcoming problems or obstacles. All of that builds your relationship. So how do you expect your relationship to go deeper and be stronger if you just talk to her via Skype and there's no sexual and no intimate relationship in between you two because she's somewhere else? It's just not going to happen. That's why you can see so many guys who left to, let's say, earn money, and probably that's it happened to more relationships or marriages in my part of the world, when people from Eastern or Central Europe, as like from Poland, went to United States or to Great Britain to earn money to sustain the families. But I heard stories from my parents' generation into my own, that people who split because he went to earn money or she went to study somewhere, and he just studied in a country because he could earn money. They split. There were always something wrong with their relationship, and many of them are not anymore together. So that's why this is what I want you to take from this video. If you want to lead your relationship, if you want to build your relationship, you've got to be strategic. And if there's for any reason, you'll be confronted with the decision to turn your relationship for the long distance one, I want you to say no. Because you may play tough, you may think everything's gonna be fine, but trust me, it's gonna hurt. And you may think, oh, this is gonna be so awesome. Yeah, for the first week, you're probably gonna play your games. You're gonna do that. You're gonna go for a gym. You're gonna do whatever you want, and then probably the same week, more or less Thursday, you'll say that was a bad idea because I miss her, and then you're gonna look at the calendar and try to see how long it's gonna take for her to come back. Because in that moment, you'll understand how much she means to you, and in that moment, you'll understand that being with her in the long term is just not gonna work. You need her close. And that's why so many of us are having such a hard time when we split, and after a few days you just realize that she meant more to you than you ever thought about. Because you kind of take it for granted. So that's why you want to stay sane, and you want your relationship to grow and be better experience for both of you. Be strategic and never allow it to change to a long distance one. So think about it and do something about it. Because I completely agree with the great words of great Patrice O'Neill when he said, "Men want to be alone, but we don't want to be by ourselves." Think about it. If you liked this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think and what's your experience. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, just give me a shout and I'll be glad to do it for you. And that being said, see you tomorrow.